Hi, everybody. Erica from In the Company of Cards. This is a little late for me, but I did say I would be here on Friday, so here it is, Friday. Uh, and so I just wanted to pop on and look at a couple of things quickly. So the first thing that I want to look at, there's just a couple, is I wanted to look at MIT's refusal to agree to 47's terms in order to get their funding. Um, There are nine schools that have been presented with this deal, I guess you could call it. And MIT said, thank you, with respect, but no thank you. We're not going to bend the knee in that way. So MIT is, it's a premier uh, institution, um, science and technology. And, I feel like if they I mean, I don't know. Let's see what happens. We know that University of Texas has said, okay, we'll take the deal. They're thinking about taking the deal. They're one of the nine schools it was offered to. Vanderbilt's another one. But MIT said no. And I just want to know, what will that mean? Will that mean that 47's House of Cards, in terms of all of this um, intimidation that he's doing of higher ed, will fall apart, or will he get uglier and more draconian in his demands? What's going to happen? So I think I'm going to use the tower that will stand for MIT and how they will fare having politely declined this offer. Okay. So, oh, and the tower is on the bottom. Okay. So since it's on the bottom, it's the last card. And I'm pulling the cards that come out of it. So we have clouds, we have scales, we have the felon, we have the coffin, and we have MIT. I'm definitely going to have to draw clarifiers here. Uh, but, it is dubious, doubtful, definitely not the case that this is a fair deal that these universities and colleges have been offered. Basically what he wants is to dictate to them what they teach, who teaches it, and to whom it is taught, which is to say admissions. If a school, rolls over on that, they might as well just hang it up. So this is of dubious fairness. Uh, Again, justice dies if people take him up on that offer. And and I think that MIT's stance will cause other schools to cast doubt on whether or not they should capitulate. So I'm just going to pull a couple of clarifiers because that actually seems pretty clear. Um, I mean, I love it. So I drew cards on the felon, and we have the key, which tells me the key is sort of the answer. What will happen with his request that they hand over everything to him? Um, that gets cut, and then we have the ship. So I think that he's not able to move forward because they're not going to give him the key to their kingdom. Uh, we have this coffin here, and the clarifiers are star, crossroads, and rider. This doesn't bother me. I think this will transform things. I think that MIT's stance and Harvard's stance are going to be transformational in this whole issue and whether he's can continue to intimidate and bully these institutions. So moving into the future, they will have choices, and that is the message that they will convey. You know, your game, felon, is not the only one in town. We'll figure it out some kind of way, but we are not taking that offer. And here is MIT, and I mean, I really love the cards. We have the bouquet, we have the whip, and we have the stork. I think that MIT has given other institutions quite the gift. And what is the gift? The gift is be disciplined, stay the course, refuse the offer, and then things will improve. We will come out of this dark night of the soul because trouble don't last always. So good for MIT. I think they called the felon's bluff. He doesn't expect his bluff to be called, and he's sort of left flat-footed, I think. What's he gonna? He's gonna defund MIT? Really? Um, Speaking of science, you know, MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, it just occurs to me that let's look at RFK. Is he okay? Because now, I guess if it's not Tylenol that causes autism, it is circumcising babies that causes autism. What is wrong with him? Let's look. I mean, what's wrong with him? Tylenol? Is it Tylenol? Or is it circumcision? I guess Tylenol is what makes the girls autistic, right? And circumcision is what makes the boys autistic. Is that what he's gonna claim? He is just, what is he okay? So let's look at RFK, see if he's okay, and see if he will keep his job. Of course, his boss is as crazy as he is, entertainment purposes only. So it's not like his boss is gonna see any cause to fire him. But let's look at JFK, I mean, excuse me, RFK. RFK Jr., the worm brain one. So we're looking for the older man who will this time be RFK Jr. What is going on with him? First it's Tylenol, now it's circumcision of babies. Honest to God. Okay, here he is. I mean, so yeah, now it's babies that are, you know, circumcising babies that is the cause of autism. He is all over the place. I mean, they should have 10 more roads here. He's just he picks stuff up out of the hat. This is the card for choices. You know, everything and anything he's going to blame for autism because he said he was going to find the cause. So now we have two, right? Tylenol and circumcision. I don't know. But it looks like he's grasping at straws. This is the grasping at straws card. You know, just anything, anything, anything. It's like the Seven of Cups in tarot. It's very clear that he's just um, like a chicken with his head cut off. So I'm going to just pull some clarifiers. All right. So I pulled cards on this, you know, chicken with his head cut off going all over the place. And that's what he's going to keep doing. He's just he doesn't think long term really about anything. Um, he's not serious. He's an unserious person. He is without depth. And yet here he is in the government. Um, Here he is in the center. Clarifiers are the lily, the book, and the tree. He's I'm gonna say lazy. The lily is a card of ease and comfort, and he just wanted the position. Now that he's got the position, he's chilling. He doesn't care. He'll say anything because he doesn't know anything about health. This is the card for things we don't know. In this case, what he doesn't know. What does he not know? Anything about health. By the way, nor does he want us to know anything, which is why all of the information about, you know, the flu or COVID or anything else is being hidden from us. He's dumb as a rock, entertainment purposes only, and allegedly. And lazy. I think he's very lazy. Um, it is clear. And then we have the stork, which is positive change. I don't know. I think that the tide is turning all the way for this administration, but definitely for him. People are starting to say, okay, what? This guy's a nut, a nut. So that's good for us. Final card is the moon, and we have the rider, bouquet, and the star. I mean, I don't know. These are really good cards. This is the card for reputation. Um, I think he's got his head. I was going to say up something, but I'm going to say that he's got his head in those clouds. I think he's not well. Um, and I think even the people who were in his camp will grow disillusioned with him. But that won't stop him. I don't know. I mean, I'm just going to say, Caroline, his cousin, tried to warn us. He doesn't know what he's talking about. And he doesn't care. He just wanted that position. It's all about power. And it's to the detriment of American health. So, a couple of other things is, Pam Bondi, who, entertainment purposes only and allegedly lied through her teeth to Congress and was certainly rude and disrespectful, having been summoned to the committee to, you know, uh, answer for things. She's claimed that she didn't know um, the answers to their questions. And I've seen online a couple of people speculate. I think this is very smart speculation. What if it can be proven that she did know? Um, so what I want to know is, could she be held or will she be held in contempt of Congress? Okay, will Pam Bondi be held in contempt of Congress? She certainly is seeming quite beset and beleaguered. Love that for her. Just not in control. Uh, Talked about Antifa, that they found the girlfriend of the founder of Antifa. Just so you know, I'm sure you've heard this before, but I'm going to say it too. Antifa's not a thing. It just means anti-fascist. It's an acronym for being anti-fascist. I am anti-fascist. Are you? So I guess I'm Antifa. Are you? But they're manufacturing out of whole cloth whom they've deemed to be the enemy of the people. So watch out for this on October 18th. Again, I will look at October 18th closer to the time. but they are looking like they want to do some wholesale bad deeds, violence, arrests for people who are against fascism. What? Anyway, I just want to know, given her performance yesterday in Congress, whether she will be held in contempt. So let's look for her in the deck. She'll be the older woman. And they prove, they find witnesses to say, no, she knew, she lied, because she's not, she doesn't have immunity. She's supposed to tell the truth when she comes in front of Congress. Will she be held in contempt of Congress? Hey, here she is. She's sort of under some sort of lucky star. I've seen that before where she kind of goes off into the sunset to some cushy job, I don't know, maybe in the Middle East or somewhere, and doesn't do jail time or anything. But listen, she is committed to the White House and the occupant of the White House. Here she is. She is his friend to the end. Isn't that from Buzz Lightyear? Yeah. She's his friend to the end. In for a penny, in for a pound. Ava Braun comes to mind. I'm just saying. So I looked at her. I pulled clarifiers on her. We have the scythe, the whip, and the crossroads. I do think she could be disciplined. That's the card for discipline, the whip. I think she could be potentially cut off from the bar, disbarred. And will throw in for good measure, held in contempt. I think there will be a lot of choices in how she is dealt with. But I think held in contempt and disbarment are two that she faces. But again, I tell you, I think she's got friends in high places, foreign friends, especially in high places, who will make sure that her future is just fine. I mean, yeah, she, even if she's not a lawyer, she can be a consultant or whatever. I don't know. Uh, and I pulled clarifiers on this anchor, and we have the stork, the bear, and the tree. I think that, again, I think she has foreign friends, friends in other governments, whether it's in the Middle East, whether it's Russia, wherever it is, she may end up in one of those places. But again, in a cushy job, um, and ultimately paying no real long-term consequences, except that I think she could face disbarment and censure, um, contempt of Congress. So, but she doesn't care. She couldn't care less. So uh, finally, I guess I want to look at well, we know that who's been indicted now? Who's the latest one? Brennan. I mean, Brennan and James and Comey will all be fine. So I'm not really worried about them. They've got the best legal minds behind them, probably representing them gratis. That Lindsay Halligan is probably gonna um, lose her law license because she certainly doesn't know what she's doing. She's making herself into a laughing stock. So I'm not even going to bother looking at that whole issue again. But unless, something comes up. I do think it's interesting that what Hegseth's done with the Qataris. Um, so not only are we going to help their pilots learn how to fly, we've done that for other countries, generally friendly ones, but anyway. But they're going to have their own base on American soil. Is that going to stand? That's what I want to know. I'll let Spirit pick all the cards. And it was part of the deal, the Hamas-Israeli peace deal. Part of the deal was that we would train the Qatari soldiers and that we would let them have a base, a foreign country having a military base here. Right? And we always haven't been friendly with Qatar, by the way. I mean, the felon's friendly with them, but so I want to know how will that deal go through? I think we'll use the ring for the contract. Will that actually go through or will it fall through? So we're looking for the ring. I mean, it just doesn't strike me as legal. Okay. So here's what I'm going to say. This will be quick. So the first card is the cross. So we have the cross, the key, the garden, the ring, and the sun. Sun's a great card, except sometimes not so much. Um, key mirrors ring. This is the contract, and it's probably a big part of how this agreement was made about this Middle East peace that's not really a peace because really it should be a two-state solution. But anyway, I'll leave that alone. In the center is the garden. And, the garden is it just, I mean, I just feel like it's very odd to have a foreign military base on one of our bases. I think it's in Utah that's where it's going to be. It just seems to expose us, the garden is like outside, expose us to danger in ways that we need not be exposed. But here's the point. The point is that the first card in the line is the cross. Traditionally speaking, when you pull a line and the first card is the cross, it means that the question is a non-starter. And I think that's the answer. I do not think that this deal will go through because it's ridiculous. So, I mean, I'm sure Hegseth's saying, "Oh, you and what army is going to stop it from going through?" But I don't think it's going to go through. Not with the cross as the first card. Uh, let's see. Did the felon get any? This is the last one because I'm tired and it's getting late. Did the felon get any news that we should be aware of about his health on his visit to Walter Reed for his second annual physical in a single year, in 6 months? I think he was there in April. Pretty sure that he's not due for his annual physical again until April of 2026. But anyway, this is his annual physical, they're saying. Second annual physical in a calendar year. What did he learn? Um, I'm going to use the older man for him. but with an eye towards what news he received and what news technically we should be receiving about his health. I know he wants to go to Egypt. I guess that's where this peace accord is supposed to be signed. And he wants to go to Israel too. Maybe it's being signed in Israel, although I would think it would probably be in some more neutral place like Egypt. But I suspect he's been advised not to go. Uh, but let's see what he heard at Walter Reed. Again, I'm just a card reader. I'm not a doctor. I'm not playing one here on YouTube. This is for entertainment purposes only. So we're going to look for the felon and see if we can see anything that he learned that we should know about on his Walter Reed trip today. Okay, well, we're not going to find out because all of the information will be just sunny. He's in the peak of health. He's like a man half his age. Uh, this is reputation and clover. So clover is like it's quick, it's ephemeral, nothing to see here. Everything's great. Every day is sunny. Everything's terrific. He's great. Fine specimen of health, whatever. That's what they're going to say. But obviously, that's not the truth. Um, you know what I think I'll do? I'll look for the tree because it feels like, I don't know, they want so badly to hide all that's wrong with him. I'm going to use the tree and just, zero in on health and see if we can get anything um, a little a little more in depth than just he's the picture of health and everything's fine. He'll outlive all of us. Okay. So we're looking for the tree that will stand for Fallon's health. No, I guess the cards aren't going to tell me anything. We've got the dog. We've got Clover again. Tree is the health card. Here's the felon showing up, and here's the ring. So it's going to be just the same old story. We won't know anything's wrong with him you know, until we see him in the box. So there you go. Uh, all right. That's it for me. I'm tired. It's been a long week. I know for everybody, it's been a long week. Thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you at some point on the weekend. Not sure when, but you will see me. I don't have a guest scheduled, so it'll be just us. And I'm looking forward to seeing you then. All right, take care.